Alright, hello underground fans. If you've seen anything that Alec uploaded previously, or maybe he didn't because he's lazy, I was trying to run a scrap OTK build for Nationals. It didn't work. It's not good enough against dragons and spellworks to do well. So, I'm still running scraps because I'm stubborn, but I have a different take on it. And here's the deck profile of my scrap stun deck. Starting off, 3 Beast. He is the tuner of the deck, and he has the effect to add back scraps from the grave when he's destroyed by a scrap card, which is how the main combo of Scrap Chimera works. Speaking of, here's Scrap Chimera. Normal summon it, fetch a beast from the grave, 1 card Scrap Dragon. It is why scraps are viable. Viable-ish. I like to think they're viable, kind of. Stunned. It's Thunder King. I said stunned. First turn beats Prophecy. That's pretty much it. It's also just annoying for tier 2 decks. Yeah, it's still annoying for other tier 2 decks like Constellar. 2 Kaiku for dragons, also kind of for Prophecy, because they can't use Fate or High Priestess, but mostly just for dragons.
I just realized that every time I do one of these deck profiles, like when we did Andrew's Madolches, and they always curse out the deck that I played them with earlier in the day, like when you got Mana Light Swords.
Well, I made top 8 with this deck today in tournament.
Feature match below! Oh, you let me do it, you let me.
Yes, I played against Alec in Swiss and lost, and then again in top 8 and lost again. Spoiler, sorry. And then, part of Scrap Stun, 2 Photon Thrasher. This guy is useful because a lot of the times you're sitting there without a monster, you just want 1 to stand alone, special him, 2100 beater. Also, you can special him normal beast, make a scrap dragon. It's fast, gets your beast engraved where you want it for Chimera, and you can also use it for Crimson Blader, which is also really good versus dragons and mermails and kind of spellbooks, but not really. But it's really good. Also, 2100 beats out Evil Swarms if they're trying to sit there with heliotropes and stuff, which pretty much poop on everything else in this deck. So that's nice. And then, Summoner Monk. Just 1 because I'm in the middle of a big debate with myself. Should I play more Summoner Monk or more Photon Thrasher? Because Summoner Monk adds extra consistency in letting me get Beast from the deck when I don't have it by discarding, say, a Scrap Storm that's dead to go straight into Crimson Blader or Scrap Dragon. Also, I don't need a clear board to just summon him, ditch a spell, and go into Crimson Blader, which is helpful if I'm trying to make turn 2 against something. But then, he's awful because Veiler and Maxi just tear holes in him. But then again, he's also still great because I can fetch Thunder King, and it's like playing 4 copies of Thunder King if I'm going first against spellbooks. Yeah, 2 Monk, 2 Thunder King. Yeah. But then Thrasher is much better standalone. Say if I don't have a spell or something, I can just special him and be like stun, 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 set back row and stuff. So, I'm still deciding. It was kind of inconclusive today. I both won games because of Monk and lost games because of Monk, and won games because of Thrasher and lost them because of Thrasher. Now, that's pretty much it for the normal monsters. It's not a whole lot, because Scraps recur stuff and stun doesn't need a bunch. But I run 2 Veiler for hand traps. It's good versus Constellars and dragons and other stuff. And 2 Maxi. Also pretty much a meta call. That's it for all monsters. Now for spells. Duality for consistency. You have to run it. You don't special summon every turn. It gets you to your Thunder Kings and stuff. Rhoda, just 1. I would be playing the 3rd Thrasher. This is what it searches, but this is also something I can ditch for Monk, and I still haven't totally decided more Monk or more Thrasher, so I don't quite know yet. 2 Scrapyard. It searches Beast, gets that going when I don't have a Monk to fetch it. It's pretty helpful. But I can't run 3 because I only run 3 targets, which is kind of disappointing. Then, 3 Scrap Storm. This takes advantage of Beast effect, because I choose a face-up Scrap monster, mill a Scrap, draw a card, destroy the Scrap monster I selected. If I selected Beast, I can mill Chimera, draw a card, destroy Beast. This is a Scrap card. It activates Beast effect. I add back Chimera, and now I've turned a Beast on field and this into a live Chimera in hand and a drawn card. It's really good. Also, quick play, chain it to bottomless, deep prison, etc. Mind control, just because it's really trolly and it works really well with Scrap Dragon. You steal something, you can pop that, what you stole, and then another card, straight up +2. Also, it works if I'm playing against someone else who's using stun and just drops Thunder King or something on me. But that's not really as common now. Then, Trinity, it's obvious. Dark Hole, Heavy, Reborn. That's it for spells.
Why Dark Hole?
Dark Hole?
Yes.
Because I run Summoner Monk, it's good to ditch, and because it's Dark Hole, which means that it's useful against a lot of decks. But like, if I go all out Thrasher, then I might just not run Dark Hole, or I'll side it. It's still something that I need to think about. But yeah, that's it for spells. Then, traps. This is all of the stun. Double Compulse, not 3, because I think 3 is sometimes dead in rogue matches. I'm thinking about siding the 3rd because it's just that good against dragons and stuff. But what I do have 3 of is 3 Fiendish Chain. Great effect negation, better than Breakthrough Skill in Scraps, because Scraps can pop the used Fiendish Chain with Dragon to pop another card. Meaning that if you like Fiendish a Tour Guide, then pop it in the Tour Guide, that's effectively a Solemn Warning. Speaking of, I play Solemn Warning,
Wouldn't you like
Solemn
pop it,
Judgment.
pop something else, and then run over the tour guide?
Oh yeah, that's just an example though. But speaking of Solemn Warning, Solemn Judgment, I have to. No Starlight though, because no one plays Heavy or Dark Hole or anything.
People still play heavy.
Oh yeah, but they side it, like you. Then, to Call of the Haunted works really well with Scraps, because if you revive a beast that you've set up in the grave, and you use like a normal summon Kaiku or Thunder King, sync with it, this stays on the field as prime Scrap Dragon food, meaning that's another way to make Scrap Dragon as a 1-for-1. Also, you can just use it to fetch Scrap Dragon sometimes, which is nice in and of itself. And then, more hardcore anti-meta, double Iron.
Why would you do that? You should play more cards that are like scrap oriented, like Scrap Shark. Wouldn't that be much better?
It's bad. Shut up. It's bad. Goblin and Golem are maybe okay at 1 if you make a build based around them. Other than that, they're pretty much all trash. So instead I play Iron Wall, because that's like auto win versus dragons. And I've won matches against dragons just because I had Iron Wall both in game 1 and game 3. And it's okay versus Spellbook, stopping Fate and High Priestess Banishment, so they can't really pop it that well unless they side it in MSTs, which means that they also then can't pop anything else that's really useful to you. And even though I totally screwed up in tournament today when playing against someone, you can also use this to troll with Bottomless and stuff, which won't banish. It'll just destroy and thus activate Scrap Dragon's effect, and Dimensional Prison, which just won't do anything with this. So, 40 card main deck, it's pretty hefty stun. It's not quite finished, but I think this is what I'm taking to Nats. Extra deck, Cataster, Thrasher plus Veiler. It's been useful some. Gaia Knight, Max C plus something. If I have Reborn and have to get a beast from hand into grave, I've had uses for it, and kind of. Black Rose, staple, pretty much.
What's level 3 in your deck?
No, I side Grand Mole. Also, I might revive something, or mind control something. So I've definitely had the option. But 3 Scrap Dragon, because that's what this deck does. It makes Scrap Dragon, who then pops stuff, and then floats by reviving a Scrap when he dies. That's the entirety of how this deck makes advantage. And pretty much every other card in this deck is based around preventing your opponent from making advantage. That's how the deck works. Crimson Blader, best card. Gem Knight Pearl, because Ophion can be annoying, you need something that you can just Chimera into to get over it. Maestro, another Ophion out, except this one's Mirror Force proof. Dweller, just because sometimes you need to hate on mermaids, and it's okay versus dragons if they don't have a hand. Shockmaster, because it's really good versus dragons and spellbooks if you can make it turn 1, which I will be able to if I decide on 2 Summoner Monk, but at the moment it's kind of hard to get out. Not impossible though. Corn, just for like Zenmates and stuff, it's okay. Cowboy. More Ophion out. That burn for game is also useful. This kid behind the camera knows something about Cowboy burning for game, if you recall from one of our games. Starly.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Sure.
I repressed it. It was so horrible, I repressed it.
Starliege, Special Thrasher, Normal Thunder King, 2 lights. I decided to run it. Because I was running into options where I could make it, but I haven't had the chance yet. We'll see. And then Emerald, because I had extra deck space and I have run out of Scrap Dragons before. But the extra deck isn't totally final. Neither is this.
Laval Chain!
Excuse me, my Laval Chain got stolen, and that still hurts. But now for the side, which will probably be adjusted some. This is what I brought today, and it obviously works well because I got top 8 with it. 3 MST because you need your spell and trap 8 for rogue decks. Grand Mole because it's really good against Ophion and sometimes against Pleiades, as this kid knows because he kept trying to warning it when I would try to use it.
That's kind of lucky. I'm not gonna
You
lie.
had warning both times I had the Grand Mole. 2 Mind Crush, good against Mermails, also against rogue stuff. Like, this kid activates Rhoda, searches for caster, I Mind Crush the caster, stop his first turn Pleiades play. And I would like to play
Did you say
more.
Mind Crush the caster?
Yeah. I was telling them the story of your...
It's not called caster.
Oh yeah, Castor. It's Pollux. Castor and Pollux are like twins though in the mythology.
No wonder that I kicked your butt. You insulted.
3rd Maxi because dragons. Double Pachycephalo because dragons. And it's fun. I might main it, like, if it were a different meta, I'd main it in this deck instead of Kaiku's because it can support it. Like, with a Scrap Dragon and a Pachycephalo out, it works pretty darn well. But Kaiku is a bit more important. And this isn't, like, very good versus spellbooks at all or anything. 2 Raikou, more Evil Swarm 8. It's been pretty good. Also, utility versus Constellars, kind of. 3rd Iron Wall. I used to main this. It was getting kind of cloggy, and it's like dead in 90% of the games that I play. So I took this out, but it still does work versus dragons. 2 Droll and Lockbird for Prophecy. And that's pretty much it. It's still being adjusted, which I probably should have been getting done months ago instead of 2 weeks before Nats, but that back then I still didn't know what I was doing and was trying to make Scrap OTK work, which it wasn't really, but I'll still get a deck profile at some point. But yeah, that's what I've been using. Top 8 at locals today, so it's obviously working pretty well, and it's not even completely finished out. I still need Summoner Monk versus Thrasher, but
Man, gotta feel good for that. Whoever that charming young rogue is who crushed you in top 8. Future match down below.